Hello, America. Welcome to Common Sense. I'm Wendy Bell. Don't you find it so weird that the media are just now starting to pay attention to President Joe Biden's abysmal polling with Black and Hispanic voters? Like, really? The whole everything is too expensive, nothing is safe. Our streets are the Wild West. Our schools suck. Our borders are wide open to God only knows who thing wasn't a tip-off? Apparently not to CNN. Here is a baffled Wolf Blitzer. Watch.
A new Fox News poll shows just how much President Biden's support among black voters has fallen since the last election. Take a look at this. In 2020, he enjoyed a dominant 75-point margin, but now that margin has dropped to just 49 points. What are you hearing from voters out there about why this is?
Okay, Wolf, are you serious about this, about why this is? Well, I can tell you it's pretty simple. More and more minority voters are in on the Democrat con, right? They're into it. They know it. Talk a good game, pretend to care, but never, ever, ever deliver. Donald Trump did deliver. He cut taxes. He dropped unemployment to historic lows. Under Donald Trump, gas cost $2.39 a gallon. Inflation was 1.4%. A 30-year mortgage rate was 1.9%. America was energy independent, and our borders were far more secure. Minority voters remember that, and they want it back. So let's bring in our panel, see what some of America's best talk radio have to say about this, see if they can crack the code to the Democrat disconnect. Chris Arps is the co-host of the Tim Jones and Chris Arps Show on News Talk 101.9 and 94.1 out of St. Louis. Great to have you back, Chris. Mary Walter hosts the Mary Walter Radio Podcast. It airs Tuesday nights on YouTube. Okay, you guys, the New York Times, they surveyed 20 black voters. Only 8 said they were voting for Joe Biden. Now, is this a big shock to anybody at all? Because we saw this when Trump got this reaction from young children in Harlem.
I love you, Trump! I love you, Trump! I love you, Trump! We love 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 Trump!
You've got to love it. And now the Bronx, where Biden won 77% of the vote in 2020. This is the district, you guys, of Amazon jobs killing AOC and fire alarm yanker Jamal Bowman. Chris, tell me what you see. Read the tea leaves.
I think what African Americans are reading, along with Hispanics and other Americans, is that the Biden agenda and Joe Biden is not up to the job. Joe Biden has had 4 years to turn this economy around, and it's actually gotten worse. As you stated earlier, under President Trump, African Americans had the lowest unemployment rate ever. Women had the lowest unemployment rate ever. Hispanics had the lowest unemployment rate ever. And I think we are seeing a lot of these gains in the African American community are coming from the millennial and Generation Y generation. Those generations are 40, 50 years removed from the civil rights generation, from the civil rights movement. They don't have that baggage of thinking that the Democratic Party is the party that has saved us and has made us what we are. And I think you're going to continue, as we get closer to November, we're going to continue to see numbers rise for Donald Trump in the Hispanic and African American community.
I think you're absolutely right. And Mary, when New York's own governor, right, says black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. I mean, come on, it's so offensive. Do you think this plays into Trump seeing the Bronx as an opportunity here? I hear you laughing because it's so dumb. It's so offensive.
It was. It was just, but you know what? It exposes the racism of the left. They haven't gotten far. KKK roots. They really haven't. They kind of hid it under their robes a little bit, but it's still there under the surface. And so when you say things like that every now and then, it sneaks out. But I think what they've done, and I think what the big driver of this is immigration, illegal immigration. Where are these illegal immigrants being dumped? They're being dumped in minority neighborhoods because the left is so certain that based on the color of their skin, that African Americans and Hispanics will vote for them no matter what. Even if they take their kids' playground and they dump a camp on it, and they give those people food and they give those people $5,000 a month on a debit card, that the blacks and Hispanics will still vote for them based on the color of the skin. The other thing is low-income Americans and lower middle-income Americans are losing their jobs to these
Yes.
newcomers, as we have to call them. And so they feel it economically, and they see themselves being replaced by the Democrats. They see their
I
kids
agree.
being hurt. They see their communities being destroyed. That, to me, it speaks the loudest for this whole movement
I
you're
agree.
starting to see happen.
Right.
And you know, Wendy, we talked about Governor Hochul's comment on the radio show, and to me, that's a testament to the New York school system. If
There you
African Americans in the inner city don't know what computers are, then what does that say about the school system that Democrats run?
Right on. You know, also joining us now is the host of Rich Valdez America at Night on Westwood One, Rich Valdez. You know, Rich, it's not just black voters, it's Hispanic voters. 36 million Hispanics, you guys, are going to be eligible to vote in November, thanks to the open borders. That, too, may really benefit Donald Trump. Listen to CNN again. This is wild.
If you ask Hispanic voters who do they trust more on border security and immigration, overwhelmingly, they trust Donald Trump more by a tremendous margin. Look at that, 49% to 24%. And that is in line with what we're seeing in the polls in general amongst Hispanics, right? Joe Biden won them overwhelmingly back in 2021 and by over 20 percentage points. Democrats normally carry them overwhelmingly. If you look at the polling right now and an average of polling amongst Hispanic voters, who do they choose in the ballot test? It's barely Biden by about 2 points. It would be the smallest margin for any Democratic candidate among Hispanic voters basically throughout history since we started polling the gosh darn thing.
That's crazy. That's blistering for Joe Biden, Rich. Immigration is killing Democrats among Hispanics. Yes or no?
Oh, 100%. And look, Wendy, I've got news for the Democrats. Hispanic voters aren't blind, just like the rest of Americans aren't blind. Some people may be blind to Democrat rhetoric, or they've been generational Democrats because they were in a union household or blue collar. But here's what I'm going to tell you. There's plenty of Hispanics. Listen, I'm about 25 minutes from the Bronx for the big rally. And I can tell you, every time I've been in the city, no matter which borough I'm in, everybody, because they've seen me or they know about the show, they'll tell me, you know, a little high five, a fist in the air. Everybody's for Trump. And the reason why, they're sick and tired of being broke. The people who are doing better under Trump, it's clear as day. Another thing, brutal rapes and crime going on in the Bronx. Yes, the local government has something to do with that. But when you have this massive influx of violent criminal aliens invading the city of New York, it doesn't matter what color you are or what language you speak at home. Nobody wants an unsafe community. Nobody wants their kids going to school in an unsafe community. Hispanics are very family oriented. And this is something that, and law and order is a big thing. Listen, a lot of Hispanic moms, you'll hear about the chancleta, right? Or the dad with the belt, that, you know, spare the rod, spoil the child. It's because we believe in doing the right thing. And when you see a lot of the wrong thing going on, a lot of alarm bells go off. And that's what's happening right now with Hispanic voters.
I want you guys to check out this poll, and Chris, weigh in on this. 54% of voters surveyed here said they think a group of random people selected from the phone book, for heaven's sakes, would do a better job than Congress. Seems like America wants a factory reset. Chris, go.
Yeah, I think Congress, and it's been like this for years, has about the same polling as lawyers and used car salesmen. Congress has let us down, especially since we've had a Republican-controlled Republican House. That a lot of our priorities that we wanted to get done have not been accomplished.
That no doubt, and I blame Republicans most for that. Mary, you get the last 30 seconds.
No, absolutely. But I think there's a Nordic country where they do have one branch of their government where you just rotate through, and it's part of your civic duty. You get called to do this. And I think it's a great idea. We should give it a shot.
Yeah, it'd be more enjoyable, I think, than what, jury duty? We'll weigh in on it. Mary can go first. All right, guys, hang tight. We're going to be right back.